will die first. So normally, you know, the man, you leave the inheritance.
If
so
like
it's
the
better
man's
if he's
40
older.
years older, then that's, you know what I mean? But typically a woman, you know, back then. But then what's happened in the last, I'd say 30 to 50 years is that you're starting to see women become more independent. We're in the workplace now. We're able to take care of ourselves. And so now when we see a man and he may be younger than us, it's not like a thing.
It makes you feel younger.
Yeah, and there's examples like, for instance, Gabrielle Union.
Oh my God! Oh my God! So you know, you know this topic. When I think about this topic, she's the one I think
Priyanka
about
as well. Priyanka and
yes.
Chopra, yeah.
You know when you watch Gabrielle Union and her man, they just look so beautiful together and they look so happy. Yes, but that's America, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So let's go on.
Like Janet Jackson, J-Lo, Demi Moore, all
Come
of
to
these
Ghana.
women.
Come to Ghana.
Nana Mama Brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on. Only one.
And
That's what I know.
so women are now starting to see that it used to be a stigma, and now women are realizing that, you know, it doesn't matter. For instance, my previous relationship before I moved to Ghana, hey Stefan, we're friends now, so that's all good.
Okay.
Anyway,
How old is Stefan?
He was just 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
But he made me feel like a woman. You know what I mean? Like he knew what he was doing.
Okay, you need to expatiate.
Okay. How deep are we going here? No. No. I mean, like, I think that, okay, how old was I at the time when we met? I was like maybe in my early 20s, and he was like 19.
18?
He was 19.
Okay.
And I was 21. And initially I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. But I mean, it was just, he just carried himself like a man. He was very respectful. He treated me with respect. I like to think that I'm a very strong woman. And so I need to know that the man that I'm with is not going to be intimidated. You know what I mean? And he just came off as very, like, he knew what he was doing.
Okay.
And so from that point on, I was like, all right, well, it doesn't matter how old the man is, as long as he's a good man. Character, loyalty, trust, all of those things. The age, whatever.
It's just a number.
It's just a number.
Okay, let's come to Accra, Ghana. Waiter, what are your thoughts on this issue?
Well, generally, I think age is just a number.
Generally,
like because generally, and now in Ghana, I think it's normal for the man to be way older than the woman. It's not a big deal if it's like more 10 years or a little bit above, married to a woman who is way younger. And men like women who are a bit younger. Some men like women who are a bit younger. Generally, that's the ideal. But then I don't think we've come into terms of a woman being older than a man. For me personally, it's part of the number one things. I try not to imagine dating a man who is younger than me just because of my preference. And yes, there are some men who carry themselves well, who carry themselves, who treat women well. I know some men who, if they were younger than me, possibly. But the age is a big deal. And generally in life, when a man is like, when women have various stages in life, and women possibly mature faster than men do.
That's what they say.
Which I think so. Yeah.
How do we know this?
Because, when you... it's a good question. I think there's some research elements to it. And when women are around 25, they are looking to get married. It's not all men who are 25. They are now starting life. But the idea is that we would go and be with men who would help us figure out life and will help us take care of us. That's the idea. Okay. But then women do mature faster than men because we want certain things. When we are thinking about marriage and stuff like that, men are possibly not thinking in that direction. When we are thinking about kids, men are possibly not thinking in that direction at that stage.
Okay.
Yes, at that stage. And that's why it becomes difficult marrying somebody who is younger than you, because there are various stages in life. And that's why it might become difficult marrying somebody who's way older than you, because what you are thinking about, your emotions, how you are feeling, may not be where they are.
You'll be generations apart.
Generations apart. The age class, the class may be totally different. What you're planning to do, where you want to go, the things you want to do, your partner who is way older than you, 20 years older than you, may be thinking about something else. The economy, politics, and you want to go traveling around the world. It is acceptable to marry somebody who's older than you, but you have to look at who you are, where you are emotionally, what you want to do with your life. Some people don't date to get married. Some people date because...
Just because.
they want to travel the world and they want a partner to travel the world with. It does happen, but that's different. It's true. And when you are also, another aspect you have to look at is health. You know, men, when you're dating somebody who's way older than you, you have to look at health, because
they're going to
not that, but in every age anyone can get sick or anything, but then a man who is way older than you have to really consider, have a life expectancy conversation with the man, possibly. nice, but these are realities you have to face.
Okay, I didn't mean to laugh. I apologize
no, these
for that.
are realities you have to face.
Okay.
But it's admirable for a woman to date a man who's younger. But when you come down to it, there's certain very important conversations you
ought to have with a person.
Yeah, and think about childbirth. You marry a man who is way older than you, who may not be, maybe his child is as old as you are, and you say, okay, I don't want to have children, I just want to be happy. But at some point in time...
But wait, you know, like having children doesn't make you unhappy, but...
No.
Just by the way.
I know.
I just had to chip that in there.
Having children does not make
you unhappy.
No. All I'm trying to say...
You just want to be free and chill.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
okay.
People have different ideologies. I know having children doesn't make you unhappy now.
Roger that.
But you would be in a different stage and you'd be like, I just want to chill. He makes me happy. I just want to be with him. He's like my father.
Oh.
And another aspect is that women like men who play the whole father figure.
Do they?
And yes, it's true. It's extremely important.
I see. Women like men who are like their
father
fathers?
figure, but more matured, like what Zainab was saying. And sometimes, I was reading the study that says that women who marry men who are way older, psychologically, they are hoping to get like a father figure to help them groom their lives, direct their paths, which I must say could be very, very true.
I see.
Based on experience.
I was just going to ask, Wecha, that you seem like you have an experience to share, like Zainab, and I'm
have
hoping
an
that
experience to
Noella
share.
has an experience to share also. Now, you can reach us on 0244 340 437. And I want to find out from, especially the men listening to us tonight, do you agree that women mature faster than men, so that a 25-year-old woman and a 25-year-old man will not be operating on the same wavelength? The woman will be more mature than him. Is that really the case, or is it something that women say? 0244 340 437 is the number to reach us on WhatsApp. Noella, what are your thoughts?
So I agree with
Wecha.
Yeah, I mean that age is just a number, but then at the same time,
you see, that's always all of you. That has been your opening remark.
Yeah,
age is just a number, but then
signifies-
by the time you're done talking, you say something else.
Yeah, it's just a number, but
Okay,
then it signifies, more than just a number, in the sense that you know it can reflect how matured you are, the stage you are in life, and your experiences, basically. So you'd find, but at the same time, it can be deceptive, because you'd find a 21-year-old guy who's acts
been
like,
around.
Nadia was saying, who acts more matured, like a 30-year-old man. You'd find a 30-year-old man acting like some 19-year-old guy. So for me, I don't really mind when it comes to the age. You
could date a younger man.
You just have to be matured.
You could date a younger man.
I could.
Okay.
You just have to be matured.
I see.
I don't want that kind of, I don't know how to put it, but sort of childishness.
But that's the thing, ladies. When you guys say mature, maturity means different things to different people depending on how old they are. So a 21-year-old could view a 25-year-old girl as very mature, and a 35-year-old man will view that same 25-year-old person as very immature. So don't you think that perhaps a person's maturity, or the definition of a person's maturity, has something to do with their age and where they are in life? So that no matter how mature you are as a 21-year-old, a 40-year-old person will probably not see this your maturity as mature on their wavelength. So it's better for us to just operate in our space. So you and I are in the same generation. We both like to text. We both like to WhatsApp. So we can have emoji conversations, but I cannot have that emoji conversation with a 50-year-old. Right, but between you and I, we are such mature people, and that's because we are of the same generation. We are operating on the same wavelength. We are around the same age. We like similar things. So perhaps this maturity we speak of is dependent on how old each of us is.
Do you want to? So, okay, sure, there are like cultural things, society things, the emoji thing. But, honey, let me tell you, I've met guys who are a lot older than me and are just dense, okay? I mean, I really don't think that the years of experience that you've been living on this earth
has anything to do with it.
I don't think it does. I mean, there's truly some young men who just have old souls, you know? That's what it really boils down to. And then there's some older men who they just never get it, you know? And it's all a case-by-case basis. I don't know if you ladies agree or disagree.
I do.
Yeah.
Waiter?
Well, like what you were saying, and there's this basic, and like in every stage, there's the basic form of maturity. And there are some people, like what Zainab says, are just have seriously old souls. And there are some people who are just maybe still in their teens, even though they are a certain age. But then I really do think that it is way better, I must say, to have it. I think it is way better, in my opinion, to be with somebody who is matured enough. Somebody has to help me. Who is older? Basically, that's what I said.
So it's better to be with an older man.
Exactly,
yes.
because the idea is that the older men are more matured.
The idea, but you can even tell. You can even tell based on discussion.
You know,
because
they have more money.
The outliers,
not the money.
The now why are you bringing that? The
You know,
outliers are those who.
That's also
let me
a
not
factor,
cut you.
isn't it?
Like with the young guys, a young guy would typically ask you like, why didn't you call me in the morning? Why didn't you I texted you didn't reply?
Oh, they do that?
Unnecessary, unnecessary, complaints and all of that. But an older man, he's busy looking for the molar. How will he, come?
Okay, so I want us to break it down. Let's start with an older man. What are the good sides of dating someone that's older than you? And then we'll come to the younger man also. All right.
think
Rachel, let's start with you.
It's direction. Because they've been through life and they've been through experiences, they're able to direct you or give you advice. Advice in your life. If it's career based, they help you move through your career easily and smoothly. That's number one important. Some people it's just about the money, but then some people it's about the money, some people it's just about career. So for me, number one is career. The kind of advice they're able to give you, which another woman mentor can give, but then sometimes you just really flow with somebody who you like more.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's the key thing for you.
The key thing for
Downside.
Downside would be the age gap. You are in a millennial kind of era. You like to do things. You want to go to a park. You want to do this, and they just want to be at home.
Is that right? They just want to be at home.
Yeah.
You haven't met some of them.
I agree with I agree with. I mean, they'll guide you. The advices. They've been there. They've done whatever you're doing now. They've been there. They've made their mistakes. They've learned from it. And so when they see you towing that line, they'll tell you, "Look, I did this. I don't think this would work for you. Do it this way," and it works. I mean, a lot of times it works.
Don't you feel that would just clip your wings and, you don't get to experience what your contemporaries are experiencing?
If you're smart, just the fact that they're advising you doesn't mean you should take everything they're saying. So you pick one or two from it. And it's good to make mistakes. You can try to, also not listen to them or whatever and just do your thing. But then when you fail,
you come back.
Exactly. You come back, pick it up, and apply it.
So it's for
direction. Direction, exactly. They've been there. They'll guide you, they'll coach you, and take you through your career. If you want to maybe open a business.
Okay, so you ladies sound like it's a career decision to date an older man.
No, not a career decision. It's for the experience they have.
Okay,
that's what
I think you guys are talking about someone that's way older.
I don't
Way
think
older.
it's intentional.
No.
I don't think it's intentional when people date older men.
It's
I mean, we're making it seem as if
look, there are women who look for older men.
So wait. So let's classify what older is.
Me, I'm talking about
no. So older is past 10 years or 1 or 2 years.
So
older.
I guess when we say he's older, we mean like between 6 to 10.
6 to 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, Witcher.
Yeah, 6 to 10 and above.
Okay.
Yes.
15.
So I don't think it's a choice. I think there are some ladies who just personally are attracted to older people, and they can't. For me, I've just dated one person who is my age, my whole life. You get what I mean?
So how many people have you dated in total?
Oh, nah. So I think
that will help us put that statement in perspective.
He had a very old soul. I still say he is an old man in a young person's body. So I think maybe it's just some people who
quite
are
like you.
Yes, I hear. I'm 40-year-old. I have a 40-year-old spirit. But there are just some people who they want to have conversations that are just generally not the normal conversations that young people are having. Yeah. And they get to have that mental stimulation from somebody who is older and somebody who's older and is going in another direction.
Okay. All right. Downside, Noella.
Downside would have to be, I mean, they lived their life in an era where you were not probably alive, or you were too young to do the things they were doing, and now it's a whole new different world. Now that you have your time, it's a whole new different world for them, and so adjusting to your kind of world is a problem.
Okay,
because you want to do the movies, you want to do the cinema with him. He goes like, nah, let's watch a movie at home.
Because the thing is that when they're at the cinema, they can sleep and snore.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
But no,
so you want to do certain things that, as a young
You're not
woman,
talking about someone who's 60 or 100.
Okay, so which is in a different world.
Yeah, it's not to say anything bad about
Zainab.
older men at all. Like, there are older men that have a lot of energy. I think a deal breaker for me is the conversation. Like, I need to be intellectually and like stimulated. And if a man, I think a downside is if he's older, like you said, Noana, it's just, what are we talking about?
Exactly.
What are we relating to, so that's it.
And downside?
That is a downside.
That's it.
Yeah, like we just come from two different
worlds, generations.
But okay. If you're lucky, you get to you get a man who is able to adjust, is ready to compromise.
Or perhaps you are ready to adjust and go into his into his world. You know what? We spoke to a couple of people on the streets of Accra to find out what they thought. Does age really matter in a relationship? And this is what they had to say. Let's take a listen.
Personally, no, it's not that much of a big deal. But I have come to realize that sometimes the older people are, the less you're able to communicate with them, and not in the sense that they don't talk to you or you don't talk to them, but in the sense that sometimes they don't understand your language. People of a certain age speak in a certain way, and sometimes it's hard for older people to understand them. So usually for me, 2-3 years tops, it's fine. But I say this because now that I've actually had experience with dating someone who was way older than me, it felt like we were not communicating as much as I would want us to, because I was always wondering how he was going to interpret what I was saying, and most of the time I felt like he didn't understand what I was saying, because we don't speak the same language. I speak like, say, a 25-year-old, and he speaks like a 35-year-old. So okay, so my girls are making faces at this person. Wait, what's your problem?
No, like 35-25 is still the same age gap, in my opinion.
It's 10 years.
Yes, 10 years. 10 years. Abraham married what?
Okay.
Sarah, 10 years gap. I mean, it's still the same.
So you think 10 years is okay? What should be the average age gap?
The average age gap should be 5. I mean, average 5, 3 to 5.
3 to 5.
Yeah.
3 to 5.
Yeah,
okay.
Average.
You, Noella?
For me, 5 to 7.
5 to 7.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't do below 5?
Or even 5 to 10, actually.
5 to 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Zainab, as you straighten your hair.
I would do
10 to 20. I knew it.
Oh, but you know when
but that's average. I mean,
you know, I knew Zainab was going to go like 10 to 20 because she started straightening her hair, like, you know, moving her hair. I just knew she wasn't going to agree with you ladies at all. So for you, the average is 10 to 15.
Yeah.
So if you go above the average, that would be like a 50-year-old man.
Yeah, then that
you're 30, right?
I'm 33.
So you wouldn't mind marrying a 53-year-old man?
Okay, so I'm 33. So the max I would go would be 47.
That's me. The max I would go is like 50.
50 years old.
50.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would do 50.
But wait, child is 25. So that's like a 25-year gap.
I love you now.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to read some of the messages coming in now. The number to reach me on is 0244340437. Send in your messages. I'll read them live on our WhatsApp portal. 0244340437. Good evening. This is from Oliver Aveko from Ajirin, Ghana. He says, now I'm really enjoying the show. Please greet Noella for me. For me, I truly agree with the ladies' point that ladies grow faster than guys. I'm 19 years old now, and I'm still looking and there's this girl in our, I guess, area that is far younger than me. But if you see how she looks, far older, and I'm still looking young. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. That's not very nice, though, to say that the girl looks way older. I mean, what does an old person look like? We physically develop fast. Okay. Kofi from Ablekuma says, hello, now maturity is not the aging process. Maturity has got more to do with a person's intellect and how they respond and approach to issues. All right. Older women work for me. I'm 30. My ladies are, over the years, have been 3 years older than me. All right. And that's from Kofi. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Hello, now. What has age got to do if you fall in love and you want to get married? I have been married for over 18 years and my wife is 10 years older than me. As I'm talking to you now, we're very happily married and we have no problem at all. Now what I believe is in maturity, and that's from Ni Okunka. Thank you for sending that in. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Hello, now I prefer older men. They would have made all the mistakes the younger men will make and break your heart.
I agree.
And that from Yvonne. So younger men break your heart.
Yeah, they do.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, older men can educate you concerning your career. They can help you and have patience to wait for you. But young guys are all about sex. And even if they don't have enough money, they want you to spend your money on them unnecessarily. They have different ways of deceiving you. And they behave like angels on heaven. Especially when they are quite handsome. When they are quiet and handsome. So older men, not too old though, and that's from Dede. All right, thank you Dede for sending that in. Hello, now I prefer to date ladies. Okay, let me go back down. Hello, now I prefer to date ladies. I prefer ladies that date young men because the old men end up breaking their hearts, and that's from Evans. Texting us from Tessano. Thank you, Evans, for sending that in. All right, maturity does not come with age, and that's from McCosby. Maturity does not come with age. Someone has not experienced how much, but they know more. I know an 18-year-old boy who's too mature for his age. Okay, 0244340437. Please keep your messages coming in on WhatsApp, 0244340437, and I'll read them live. So it appears to me that a lot of women who are saying that it's good to date older men always link it to their career choices. That he can guide you in your career, that he can give you some experience. Like, it's a career decision. Like, it's good for your career if you date an older man. Well, I want you to call me now. 0302-216-541 is the number to reach us on. 0302-216-541. Call me and let's talk about this live. Good evening to you, Tatas. Jackie Chan. It's good to know you're listening. Caritas Aye. Thank you. Noella, you were saying?
Yes, I'm saying I don't totally agree with what you were saying, that it's about the career thing.
Okay.
I think it's more about the maturity thing, you know, because a lot of women, like you were saying, want to date men that, sort of pose as father figures, want to care. I think you were making that point now, Nadia, that you want to care for these ladies and make them feel comfortable. Okay, so that's historically that's how
peace of mind.
Peace of mind, exactly. So for me, I think it's more about the maturity. You just have to be matured.
Okay, let's talk to Nee calling us from Tema. Hello, Nee.
Hello.
Hi, Nee. Thank you for calling us.
Maturity doesn't come with age.
Okay.
I want you to read Job 32.
Job chapter 33.
Yes. No, okay. 32.
Job chapter 32.
Read the whole chapter.
The whole chapter?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm grateful. Nee from Tema. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you. 0302-216-541 is the number to reach us on. We're talking about age. Ike is calling us from Tema. Hello, Ike.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for calling us.
Okay, the age issue. I'm about getting married, okay? The lady is about 3 months older than me.
3 months?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's nothing.
Okay.
But we are both above 30, okay?
Okay.
And I see so much maturity in her. Now, the ladies who want guys who are older than them, are they willing to submit to those men? Because men who are older than you or who are much older want you to submit.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Okay, I got you. Ike.
So
I'm asking them right now. Thank you so much, Ike, and we wish you congratulations in advance.
Thank you.
All right. So, Zainab, I guess that question was to you.
Yeah. So that goes back to, I think that when an older man is dating a younger woman and he respects her and knows that she's a strong woman, she's in her own lane, she's independent, they're not going to expect you to submit. I don't like that word, submit. What does that mean? Exactly.
What does submit mean? All right, can we just Google it and read it out to Zainab? While I talk to Mariam, calling us from Tema. Hello, Mariam.
Hello.
Yes, Mariam.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, my dear.
I'm enjoying your program so much. Thank you very much for the good job you're doing.
Thank you so much too.
I want to say that age is not the same. I mean, once you're mature, you know how to take decisions, and you're okay in the head, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, once the person is mature, you shouldn't go into the age.
All right. So age doesn't matter. It's maturity. Thank you so much for calling. All right. So Zainab, here's a dictionary definition of maturity, of submission. The action of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will or authority of another person.
I'm literally cringing as I hear you read that.
What's wrong with that?
No, I don't believe a marriage or relationship should be about that. It should be two equal partners that are with each other because they love each other. And that's what it's about. Like, why? All
right, let me talk to Kofi calling from Accra. Hello, Kofi.
Yeah, now how are you?
Yes, I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Interesting topic, but
can you please turn down the volume on your radio set?
Okay.
All right.
Is it better?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Yeah, I think that when it comes to submission, regardless of whether you are older or not, you ought to submit as a woman. You can't. And then tip.
Yes, Kofi. Okay.
I think that women ought to marry men who are older than them. The Bible has given us a lot of examples, like Abraham marrying Sarah and so on and so forth. Because the experience factor is very important, because if you marry someone your age, sometimes the two of you are so naive. So if you marry someone older than you, I think it's better. And talking about maturity, I think sometimes when it comes to marriage, maturity comes with age, because the more experienced you are, that has to do with how older you are. What you have seen in the world, and based on that, you can properly groom the woman. And also, I think that's it for now.
All right, Kofi, thank you so much. Ajwa is calling from Accra. Hello, Ajwa. Hello, Ajwa.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Ajwa. Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Hello.
Yes, Ajwa, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, what are your thoughts?
Good. I'm saying the age, like they said, is just a number. I've been married for 15 years. I'm a year older than my husband. We have 3 children. We are happy. There's nothing that shows that I'm older than him. I don't even look my age. He's more mature than I am. And he's able to handle issues better than I do, even though I'm a year older than him. So age has nothing to do with maturity.
Okay.
Somebody can be 40 years and still be an immature person.
Okay. All right.
I believe maturity comes from how you were trained, how you were brought up, what you have seen in life. So it has nothing to do with age.
All right. Thank you for sharing. And congratulations on your 15 years of marriage. Congrats. I've got Selam on the line now from Jamestown. Hello, Selam.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi, Selam.
Yeah.
You're welcome to the show.
Yeah, I will marry someone I love. I don't consider the age at all. I don't consider the age at all.
Are you in a relationship?
I love. And with the submission, hello.
Yes, the submission.
Yeah.
Now the subtopic.
Women are having this when they say submission, women are having misinterpretation to the word time. Although you can find out where in the dictionary, but you see, this submission deals with love. You see, two people who think that they all have power at the same level cannot live comfortably at one place. It's difficult. Even animals, 2 wild animals cannot live in the same jungle. So what they are saying is that not that you reduce yourself to any level, but for you to just, you see, when animals are playing, one lies down, one is on it. You see, those people, that's what they do. So just not always be so distant that my parts have to be heard and so on and so on. So play the part of what a gentle, quiet person and try to solve the things in an amicable way. That's what we say submission. It's not that it's a power struggle. No.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, I'll take a call from Kwame Nadenta, and I'm going to allow my ladies to talk because they really want to talk. Okay, so I'm not going to deny you, ladies. Kwame.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
All right, you're live.
Okay. So I noticed an interesting sort of reaction based on the ages of your panelists. You see, the 25-year-olds, they don't want to go too way away from their age. They want to settle for somebody within their age. But those one, their 30s, the lady who said she's 33 is ready to go for somebody in their 50s. So that should tell me something. Anyway, but that's just by the way. I think that based on how I relate with my younger lady that I've been friends with, the discussions with me is all about their career. I mean, I will always tell you to go to school to advance yourself. I will always tell you something that will uplift you. So it is a great point that they're making, that the older men tend to help you, uplift you, motivate you, inspire you much more than the younger guys. So I just wanted to buttress the point that
okay.
the older guys always show the gap where perhaps your mentor may be lacking.
Okay, Kwame. Thank you so much for that call. Now, ladies, you were cringing and screaming while your microphones were off. While I spoke to one of the callers who said that, you all just need to relax. Relax. Even if you're older than your man, you should be able to submit to him because two wild animals cannot operate in the same jungle.
Yeah.
And the two of you, Wecha and Noella were on one side, and Zainab was just trying to get out of her skin.
I think
on the other side. Zainab, what is your problem with submission?
Submission to me sounds like it's possessive. It sounds very machismo. It sounds very much like the woman should surrender her life for the man, and the man should be the man. Like
what is the man?
Yeah, okay, so listen, so one of the male callers said that, he wants a woman that is very gentle, very quiet, and I think that I don't know. I don't ascribe to that. I don't. I think that, yes, there can be two lions in the jungle and they can get along very well. You know, this is me personally. I submit to God and God alone. I'm not submitting to my husband.
Oh, wait, so you're Christian?
Oh, no, I'm Muslim.
Oh, okay.
I'm Muslim. But still, it's like the same ideals. It's, you know, when you marry someone, it's an equal opportunity.
What does the Quran say about marriage? Like about the relationship between a man and a woman, because the Bible does say that, you know, wives submit to your husbands. What does Quran say?
And the Quran suggests something similar. In fact, it's almost the same, you know. But me, culturally, where I'm from, it's not something that I would do.
You can find a line between. So you have a line between your culture and your religion.
Yeah, absolutely. Where you come from plays a role. I do all of the things that a Muslim does, right? I fast, I pray 5 times a day. I do all of those things. But culturally, where I'm from, I don't believe in submitting to my man. I just don't think that's something that you should do.
So that's a part of the Quran that you don't ascribe to?
It's not that I'm not saying that I'm not ascribing to the Quran. I'm saying that culturally, where I'm from and the way I was raised, the woman and the man are equal. That's all I'm saying. It's not man and then the woman is underneath just cooking and cleaning. I don't mind cooking and cleaning for my man.
Why do we define submission as cooking and cleaning?
Exactly. Then what is submission exactly? Because maybe I'm getting it wrong. Because to me, when I hear the word submission, it's like,
it sounds like you have an apron on.
You do this, do that, sit here, sit there, say this, don't say
that. Wait, what do you think?
You know, as we are all growing up, we all have this discussion about submission. But personally, women and men are equal. But then in every institution, just like marriage, somebody has to always take the lead. And the way we are programmed, or the way God designed it to be, the man takes the lead. The woman makes the decisions in some sort of way. But submission is respect. It's respecting what your husband says, what he disagrees on, how you even speak to him, how you talk to him, the things you do for him. That's what submission is. Entirely, submission is about respect. It's not about you having, like, he's talking, you're shouting, both of you are shouting. He says, don't do this. He says, I'm going to do this. Submission is respecting him, even if you have everything together.
So does that mean that the man should submit to the woman?
It's so in the Bible, it says, men, love your wives, respect your husband. Because how we are wired, when a man loves a woman, he treats her differently. For a man's language is respect. Love for him is respect. Because you can't say you love a man and you're talking back at him, you're insulting him, you're just talking to him necessary, and you are not.
Okay, so here's what I think. I think that next week we should have a full show on submission, what it means, and how we should approach it as young women, depending on our various cultural backgrounds. So can we do that next week?
Yeah.
All right. So back to the matter of age. All right, let me read some messages coming in now. Okay, I like Zainab. Here's a message for you, Zainab. I like Zainab. Okay, now age is definitely just a number, but some girls start in life with the idea that to snub the opposite sex is the surest way of bringing it to their feet. Okay, all such imaginations are vain. A man may be amused by the
coquettish impertinences of a girl.
Thank you. He may even be attracted by it to a certain extent. But in the end, he feels repulsion unless it is the exception that proves the rule. Hastings away presently to lay his hand and fortune at the disposal of some more modest girl. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I've come to realize that women are looking for a long-term partner to settle down with. And she has 2 ways to do this. Either date a bunch of men at the same time and then pick the best guy, or she can date the first good enough guy that comes along and then try to change him. That stereotype exists for a reason. A girl who dates around will never try to change a man, because she'll simply pick the better guy from the pool of suitors. A girl who invests her time in the first guy who's good enough will never play the field, because it distracts from the focus, improving on the guy she's with. Okay, Zainab, I know you understand this message more than I do.
I think what's the catch? Trying to say. I think she's just trying to say that if a man meets a woman, he should understand and respect that she is a woman, and the two people can be in the relationship without having to have like a power
play.
A power play. It shouldn't be a struggle for power. It's a relationship, people. This is not a corporation you're running. It's a marriage.
Okay. Yes, Mama. Moses from Medina says, no matter the cultural background, it is a man's world. No brainer. Okay. And I know you had a serious frown on your face when you were typing. It's like, no matter your cultural background, man, it's a man's world. All right, honey. Got it. Thank you so much for sending that in. Now, submission is biblical and religious. You can't be picky if you follow a faith. It's simple. And that's from Kay, texting us from Minnesota. Okay, thank you, Kay, for sending that in. Absolutely appreciate it. Okay, maturity depends on everybody's definition. All right, it's as simple as that. Some might factor it in age, in intellect, or in emotional intelligence. It's simple. All right. Thank you for your mini messages. I apologize for the ones I couldn't read. Forgive me. Today, I'm going to allow you ladies to have a good final word. Last time, I just rushed you guys. So now, we have 6 minutes. I'm going to let you each speak for 2 minutes. Your final words on this. And we agree that next week, we're going to discuss submission in toto. Agreed?
Agreed.
All right. So let's look up from our notes now. And final words. I'll start with you, Noella.
Yeah, sure. So for me, look, we're not saying that older men are the more mature people or whatever to date. But you can date a younger person who's mature. Mm-hmm. What it is the man, like you said.
And I realize that when women talk about dating younger men, they say he looks older. If you see us cry, you can't tell he's older. Like, what role does the look also play? You want to date a younger man who's taller and bigger than you, and then he doesn't look bigger? Because when older girls date younger men, they care that they don't look like she's older, don't they?
Okay, well, it could be. But for me, back to what I was saying, I'm saying that it's about the man.
Okay.
It's about the man. Maturity is not about age. It's just about the man. How he, takes care of you, how he thinks, his intellect, how he thinks, how he's able to have conversations with you, how, he wouldn't be complaining unnecessarily.
Which is something that you think that younger men do.
Exactly. Okay. They do that a lot.
Alrighty.
So when you figure these two things out, you go like, okay, so why go through all the hustle dating a young man? Just do the older man.
Just do the older man. Okay, that's your actual last word. Can we please tweet this with Noella's name? Just do the older man. Okay, Zainab.
Okay, so this is what I will say. I say, be open.
Sorry, let me just make a joke. If submission came in the tone of voice, oh my God, Zainab is so submissive.
Her voice is so sweet.
I know. Let me just say, I'm just dating the older man. All right, Zainab, let's go.
So, I say, be open-minded. Be open-minded. Okay, so if you're
I'm sorry. I got it. Okay.
So, like, for instance, let's say you're in the workplace and you see a man who is younger than you. Let's say you're 30 and he's 24. Okay. You ask yourself these 3 things. First, is he mature? How does he carry himself? How does he interact with his colleagues? How does he treat his family, his friends? Look at these things. Is he groomed? Okay. Number 2, how intelligent is he? When you're having interactions, conversations with this man, how does he stimulate you? Is he stimulating you? Is he intellectual? Think of those things. And then 3, financial independence. Because sometimes we do date, when you date a younger man, their intentions may not be what you think. You have more money, he doesn't, he's using you. So look out for warning signs, but be open. I say, give it a shot. Date him once and see what happens.
Give it a shot.
I think
let's tweet Zainab also.
Outlines as to how to point out a man to date. Okay, I would end with know thyself, nothing over much. You have to know who you are, and we change all the time.
Yes, we do.
And what we need at this stage may be different from what we need later on.
Yeah.
But for a human being that's parenting yourself, you have to envision what you want. If you want the ideal family with children and you want the ideal picture, you have to work towards it. If you only want to be with that older man, have the best life you have, and maybe in between have some children, you have to look at it. But you have to be true to yourself and work towards it. And that's the most important thing. Because if you live somebody else's life and say, okay, it's not good to date an older man, let me date my age because that's the ideal, you've been losing much on a lot in life. So be true to yourself. If it's younger, if it's older, if it's your age, be true to yourself and stick to it because it's your life.
All right, Wecha had the final word, and I kind of like your last words. Can we tweet that also, please? Today, you ladies are making very profound statements. Thank you so much, Wecha Marian Lisa Dinku. She's not 25, by the way. That was a joke. Yeah, that was a joke. Luella and Zainab, thank you, ladies, so much. It's been great having you guys. I'm looking forward to our discussion next week. So, like promised, next week we're going to be talking about submission. It sort of just came out, and it appears to be a very strong area that young women need to discuss, understand, and even more importantly, decide who we are and what it means to us. Okay, so definitely we're going to talk about it next week, I promise you. This has been Strong and Sassy. We've heard from our ladies. We have a vox pop from men that I want us to play before we say goodbye. so let's do that. Let's not do that. Not all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'll play it to you guys after. What's that? Don't you know the time is up? My name is Na Ashoko. It's been absolutely great being on the show today with you. Thank you for sending your messages, your calls. Absolutely appreciate them. Thank you so much. We'll be on your radio next week live at 7 p.m. This is Strong and Sassy, your #1 girl talk show on radio. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Good night.